Now let's take a look at one of the true advantages of working with Dreamweaver templates, and that is we've seen how we can build pages based on that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We could have done that without a template though, and we could have done the same thing. However, you'll notice that I've created a number of pages based on that template. We made 3 in the previous video, but I went ahead and finished off a few others. Let's take a look in a browser. And once we're in a browser, you can see that we've got the very basis of the template here on the download page. If you go to the video page, I've just changed some of the text and one of the pictures here. If you go to the description page, you'll see that I've added a bunch of other text, new picture, support page, different text, new picture, testimonials, here's a picture, what people say about killer app, and finally in the contact page. So all of these pages are built off of the template. Now, why is that advantageous for us? Well, if we did not use a template and I just saved as and made changes along the way, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's perfectly fine. But after a while, you might come to recognize that there are some things that need to be changed. For example, if you look down here in the footer area, you'll see that it says Killer App is an amazing app available for iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Well, that's obviously wrong. So think about this. If we weren't using a template, what would we need to do? Well, I'd have to open up the contact page, make the change. I'd have to click on the testimonials page, scroll down. Oh, look, I'd have to make a change here. So I'd have to open up every single page, and then I would have to save all of those pages after making the adjustment. Okay, well, whatever. If you only have 2 or 3 pages, it doesn't really feel like that's the end of the world. But if you've got a really large website with many, many different pages, this can become rather tedious and a little bit of a pain. So that's where the template comes in. Check this out. I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver. And now that we're in Dreamweaver, I'm going to ask you to go to your Files menu, and I will ask you to open up the template called Subpages DWT. So let's double click that. So notice up here at the top, it says Subpages DWT. So this is the page upon which all the other ones are based. In other words, it's the one page that rules them all, and in the darkness binds them. Yes, so much like there is a single style sheet that's controlling the styles of the pages, Dreamweaver's templates kind of acts in the same way, except it allows you to make, rather than stylistic changes site-wide, this will allow you to make HTML changes site-wide. So within my HTML here, I see this incorrect spelling of iPod, so I'll come in and I'll fix that. So now it says iPod Touch. Remember, because this is the Dreamweaver template, I'm actually able to make changes anywhere, not just in the editable regions. In the other pages, on the other hand, like testimonials, if I wanted to come in here, I could not. You see that? It's giving me the no Ghostbusters sign, and it's saying, sorry, can't make changes here. So let's go back to the Subpages DWT file. And now that I've made these changes, I'm going to say File, Save All. So when you do that, here's the first thing that you're going to notice. It's going to say update all the files based on this template. And you'll see that there's a whole bunch of files based on this template, and we'll say, yeah, for sure, update them all. Now that you do that, it's going to come in here and say, oh, files that the entire site or files that just use subpages. So we'll say subpages. So click Start. Once that's done, we can close this page. And now let's take a look at your testimonials. If you scroll down to the bottom, nice. Do you see that? It's made the change for us. If we go to the support, beautiful. So let's take a look at those pages. You can see that they've been changed. Very nice. So we can make sure if anything has not been saved that we are going to save them. So make sure that there's no asterisks here. You'll see contact has an asterisk, so let's save it to update the file. Here where it says video, you'll see that as soon as I click on it, it's got an asterisk, so we'll save that to update this file as well. So Command S to save, or file save. The download page, it too now has an asterisk, so we'll have to change these pages, save them as we go along, and the changes that were made in the template should now show up on all of these. So here's the download page. If I preview this in Safari, what we're going to see is the page that we were looking at before, but now it's got iPod Touch spelled correctly on the bottom. Very nice. Here's another thing that we can do. Imagine in the subpages, if I go to subpages DWT, I'm looking up here at the top, I realize that, I don't really have a link that goes back to my index page. Well, normally I would do that with the link over here, and I could make this a link, and it's not a problem. I could do that as well, but I'd have to style it as well. So all I'm going to do is to maybe add another link on the edge after contact. So if I wanted to come in here and add a home link, well, I want to make sure that it's still a list item, and I could very easily just type something in, but it's not necessarily going to be in a list item. So I will make sure that I copy this information down at the bottom in my code view. I'll paste it, Command C to copy, Command V to paste, Control C on a PC, Control V on a PC. So I've got these elements in here. I'll change this text to make it say home. Now the link is not quite right, so now that we've got it in place, I'm going to select it. I'll open up my little icon right here so that I could link the page to the index. Now the index should be in that link. So let me collapse this, and I'll say File, Save again. Now when you do that, it's going to say, hey, you want me to update all of these? And we'll say yes, update all of these. Look in pages that use subpages, yes, start all of those. Now that that's done, we can now make sure that all of these pages are actually correct. So you'll see that, hey, look at that, it's got a home. But we will need to click Command S or Control S to save it. Same thing with this, same thing with this. Same with all of these pages. Because I have them open, that's why. But nevertheless, you'll see that they all now have a home link. So if we preview this in our browser, what you're going to end up with is a page that looks like this, but check it out. Now this page, the download page, actually has another link here. It's the home link. So let's see, on the video page, hey, home page is there as well. Download, description, check it out, it's there. Support, nice, it's all there. And well, let's see if it works. Click back here. Perfect. Now it's not here on the home page because the index page was not based on that template. But that's okay. It's the index page. I don't need a link to itself on this page anyways. But if we go to the video page, great. And there's our home. Download, and there's our home. So it's a really, really nice way of working with your pages. And as you can see, it's a fantastic way to save time and make changes site-wide rather than having to open up each of those pages individually, repeat the change over and over and over again, and then save each one of those files as you go along. So this is why oftentimes it's a smart idea to work with Dreamweaver templates.